I do not mix up one day this teaching, second day this teaching. You stay with one thing and then you let time do the work.
Why is the mind so important? It matters. If you wake up in the morning, what are you thinking when you wake up in the morning? And if you already wake up with conflict in the mind, with unsatisfaction inside the mind, wake up with a feeling of lack. I wake up, I have to do something quickly because I don't have it right now. Whatever it is. So running after something. Why do you chase anything? Because you're in a state of lack. Something's missing. If you would have it, why would you chase it? And now the question is, where does this lack come from? And now come back to the child. The child, the incarnated soul, the incarnated spirit, when it comes to the earth, whoever made it possible for that child to come, you can call it God, you can call it the nature, you can call it the universe, no matter what. This force, this power does not make mistakes. God is not putting you in this earth incomplete. Why would he do that? What he's putting on the earth is existence. He's granting us existence. And afterwards, it starts that we have concepts. We start thinking. We start having ideas about how this life is supposed to be. If you're not successful, it's not a life. If you don't have many cars, it's not a life. If you don't have many friends, it's not a life. Well, no, this is all human ideas. You came to the earth right from the beginning. You have been complete. This is the alternative. At the moment, I would say it's just guiding to rethink. So what is the next way of what can people do? Rethink your life. Look at how is your life looking at the moment? How did you spend the last 5 years, 10 years? Do you maybe see some patterns in your life? I tell you one pattern. Everybody has. I had it too. We all have it because it's normal. There was a time we didn't even have any mobile phone. Then the first Nokias came out. Okay, eventually you even got one. We're happy about it. Then the next generation of phones came out. And this one was, okay, it's old already. And you wanted the next one. Then you got the iPhone. Then you got the MacBook Pro, the big TV screen. Then the first car you had, a Volkswagen. Afterwards, you had a BMW. But there is a pattern behind there. Whenever you get what you want, you will realize that's not it. And so the question is, when do you start to realize the pattern that running after desires is not going to fulfill your desire? What you need is realization. What you need is wake up. This is where all these terms are coming from. Also, to take that misunderstanding away. I grant you the Porsche. I grant you a big house, yeah. It's all nice, and I mean, if you can afford it, it's absolutely something. I mean, why not? The German technology and possibilities that meanwhile is able to do is pretty awesome. The only thing is, ask yourself, your satisfaction about life, is it based on a condition or not? Because this is what I would see right now. Everything that at the moment you want to have, always when you say, I need this in order to feel complete, I want this in order to feel complete, then it means your life, your satisfaction about life is based on conditions. As long as I have many followers, I'm happy. As long as I have a family, I'm happy. As long as I have the car and the big house, I'm happy. The fact is, you do not have a guarantee. You do not have a security that at any point in time, you're gonna lose these things. First of all, latest, when the body falls apart, you're gonna lose them anyway. But even before that, just look out in the world when we had, for example, the restrictions because of the COVID. What can you do as an individual if the government decides, finished? No more podcasts, no more going out, no more meeting friends, stay at home. And you had a lifestyle every day you go out meeting friends, every day you drive around, every day you are outside. But now, because of whatever, you are forced to stay in that restriction. What is going to happen to your life satisfaction? The more it was based on the condition of life needs to look like this, the more we will suffer. Many developed depression and many started waking up, realizing I cannot base my life on circumstances where I don't have influence on. And this is exactly what this life is about. Don't base your life satisfaction on circumstances where you have no influence on. If you have, well, then change them in a way that serve you. But there are many things we don't have. To already right now, realizing I cannot, as a small citizen, I have no influence on whatever the politicians are going to throw out there. No way. Then you are realizing your life is in your hands. Your responsibility is make sure that inside you are always full, or that you are feeling full. No matter what happens on the outside, nobody can take something away from you. Because the gift that has been given to you is the existence, is this lifetime in the first place. We already have been given the greatest gift of everything, existence. Now, don't let anybody interfere trying to take that away from you. So that means don't outsource the power of having your life in your own hands. Don't outsource this to external circumstances. Don't outsource it to the amount of messages you receive per day. Don't outsource it to the number of followers. Don't outsource it to how big the apartment is, how many cars you have. If you can afford it, do it. Just don't make that emotional and mental attachment. This is the part. It's not about how many cars you have. You can have a whole garage full with all the luxury cars. That's not a problem. The problem is how much are you identified with your possessions. The identification is the problem. To have a garage full and just use them and enjoy them, and when you drive and the weather is nice, then it's really nice. But then you put it back into the garage, you go eat your meal, and while you are eating, the car is gone. You're not thinking about the car anymore. It's gone, it's standing in the garage, finished. Now you just enjoy the meal. Attachment is the problem. It is a process. It is of rewiring. How have you lived your life until right now? How much did it serve you, the way of thinking until now? And how much also did it limit you? These are all things every individual has to ask for themselves. I'm not giving you anything right now. I'm just saying something, which is, let's say, my view. And you have to ask yourself, what is it from what you have heard until right now that in a way resonates with you? You observe this pattern in your own life. And ultimately, the only person who can do something about it, it's not me. You make the decision. Your life is in your hands. The only thing that I'm doing is, if at all, I'm taking something away. I'm taking away misconceptions and illusions that people might have in this lifetime if they didn't have the possibility to hear other perspectives. Fear and also uncertainty. These two things are the biggest challenges every human being is going to face. The question is, are you living your life based on fear or not? And this fear is not helpful because it restricts you. It restricts your ability to expand the mind. Fear is restricting you to discover, because fear makes you to stay inside the comfort zone. But why do we call something the comfort zone? It's because we have spent time already inside that zone that we know. You know everything about it inside there already. You have seen it, you have experienced all of it. That's why everything has become comfortable to you. So as long as you're comfortable, it means you are not leaving the things that you know. This existence is too big. It's 0.1% of knowing, it's 99% of not knowing. if you want to discover what is the 99.9%, it means you need to leave the space of knowing, you need to leave the space of comfort. You need to go into the uncertainty. And this is that fearful part. The more fearful you are, the more you're going to stay where you are. The less fearful you are, the more you're going to expand, the more you're going to discover. Now the question is, how can I now learn to face your fear? Yeah, to face it. And there again, I think the Shaolin practices is one of these ways. So facing pain is also something that goes along the way of practicing the Shaolin martial arts. You don't have to jump right away into the darkness. Not many people can do this. But realizing, okay, this is right now my comfort zone, and tomorrow I'm already trying one thing that is new to me. It still feels uncomfortable to me, but okay, let's try. Just one step out. Next day, another step out. Meaning, integrate the jump into the uncertainty into your lifetime until it becomes a habit. This is the one way. How to develop that ability to go against the fear. This is one thing. The second part is, I think this is now very useful for everyone. If you have the wrong image about yourself on this earth, if you are viewing yourself like from a wrong perspective, then it just means you will never get into the understanding what type of potential you are actually possessing. The point is, you're becoming more and more refined about there is much more about us. Because in the moment where you realize that bag of skin has more on the inside, it also increases right now your ability. If you say health is important to me, well, then it's not enough to just like use cream on your skin. That is taking care outside. If you know there is more inside, then it means whatever you eat, whatever you do, whatever you're drinking, how does it affect what is inside of you? So all these practices, what does it do? It makes you become more refined about yourself. When you look at yourself, when you sense into yourself, you feel more what you are. Take care of the body, refine the body, and at the same time, you refine the mind.
Something that you can do in the evening is just be grateful for what happened during the day, regardless of how hard the day was, regardless of which challenges you had to face during the day. It is just a very helpful practice to never forget and be grateful about your possibility, first of all, to just experience all of this. I know it's for some people very, very hard maybe to understand that if the day was really challenging, how can you still be grateful in the evening before you go to bed? Well, but that's exactly the point. Because if you don't do it, you're going to go to bed with a quite different state of the mind, which is not going to help you for the next day. Also not going to help you for the future time to come. Because the day is about to end. It's good to still have some type of practice. That's what I call it. It's a practice of gratitude. Be thankful, be grateful for what happened on that day, regardless if it was a hard day or not. Because this is now where it comes to habits, conditioning yourself, and the way how to sometimes make your life a little bit lighter.
Why is gratitude so important?
Because you are elsewise missing a big part of the purpose of why you're here, a big part of your sense of life. We can complain about all type of things the whole day long. But what helps me to realize sometimes is we can complain. We can complain and we can experience in the first place because we are somehow alive, because we have come into existence already. There are other, I don't know how to say it now, it sounds strange, but there are other beings maybe, they don't even have a body. They have never come alive. They have never been born. They cannot even complain. So you have been given this gift of being able to walk on this earth right now. So having the existence right now, being able to live this life right now already, that is quite a big, big gift. Don't take it for granted. It's not good to take your lifetime for granted, even if you have difficult times, of course. The earlier the morning, the less people in your city are awake. The earlier in the morning, the less emails, the less phone calls, the less messages you're receiving. It makes it much easier if you wake up a little bit earlier, knowing there is nobody who's going to call you. There's nobody who's going to ask you for something because nobody's awake. And so it already makes it way easier for yourself to just focus right now, okay? These 20 minutes or these 15 minutes in the morning, everybody is still sleeping. This is the time that now I'm dedicating purely on myself, regardless of what type of exercises, what type of awareness enhancing exercise it is. It can be breathing exercise, sitting meditation. It can be the combination of meditative practices combined with movement and breathing, which is what nowadays people know as Qigong. So any type of these methods is perfectly fine. But the main point is that in the moment you are starting these practices, your mindset also must fit. And that means you must really tell to yourself, this is my time now. Turn off the phone, don't look on the phone, anything like this. Have this feeling, this is my dedicated 15 minutes.
When there was the switch to the next year, many people always have their new plans and new ideas. What's going to change in the next year and what you're gonna start to let go of, and what maybe is going to be something new that you are starting to integrate into the next life. Sometimes it's also good to realize whether you are already sometimes caught within some type of a habit. And to take a step back, especially at these times when anyway things are slowly getting more quiet. I would suggest that everyone takes a personal small retreat. That means retreating back to yourself and really ask yourself that question. What is it essentially that you are looking for living this life? Regardless of how old you are right now, how much of where you want to go did you achieve already? And also, are you actually still finding yourself on the way to wherever you wanted to go? So first of all, before we even know which future direction you would like to go towards, number one is we need to know where are we actually standing right now. Observe your surroundings. They can give you an indication where you are right now. Look around you. One indication. Second of all, look inside of you. How do you feel about the way of life that you are at the moment living? You had almost 365 days from that current year right now. How do you feel about it? Where did it brought you? Where did you decline? Where were you able to increase something about you? So number one is find out what is the status quo. Where are you located at the moment? And it is similar, like sometimes in a few Buddhist stories we are saying, before you know in which direction to sail, first of all, you need to know where you're located. because the journey is not for everyone the same. In the way of what we are trying to share, we are trying to share methods, certain principles. But ultimately what needs to be done is that an individual person is starting to take all of these methods and applies them very specifically to your own personal way of, let's say, understanding. Not just to stay in the world of thinking about these things, thinking about the outcome and thinking about what they just felt, because to manifest them and writing them down gives another quality to it, let's say. And so therefore, yes, what you want, what you create in the mind, it's all about manifesting. If you are starting into the next year, into your next period, but you keep on having the same things over and over again that are already inside of you since the last 20 years, nothing too much new gonna come. Because there is something already too hard inside of you. You're stuck already with a conceptual view about how this life is supposed to look. And this is sometimes why we call you have the physical practice to keep your body healthy and running along this lifetime. But then we have the spiritual practices, the ones that don't have so much to do anymore with the physicality. They have something to do with opening up, allowing your mind to get free of the concepts, get free of the things that have been accumulating inside of ourselves, and that from time to time then start to block ourselves. And this is why we have those physical practices, mental practices, and both of them, the more you're able to let go, the farther you're going to proceed. The more your willingness and your ability to let go, the more changes are gonna come. It's just like this. For new things to come, old things must go. And now, just as I mentioned, there is the willingness, first of all, to let go. And then there is your skill level, your abilities. Can you, even if you want? There is a certain degree that you can already help or support yourself in letting go, learning what does it mean to let go. But sometimes there are also things that are caught within us that you just cannot reach by yourself. And this is the moment where sometimes you need support. Where sometimes, even if the willingness is there and you even maybe can see what it is that is stuck inside of you, but sometimes you need a person, more persons, or sometimes you need an additional support to get rid of it. And who are the ones that are able to proceed from there on? Only the ones that went deeper. And this is where it's ending once again, why we have walls around here. Because you have a lot of time for yourself. And if you are putting the right effort into it, the right concentration to it, and the right meditation to it, there is a type of depth that you can then develop, which an average person normally does not have the time for. Everybody can achieve it. if you are investing enough of the effort, enough of the training into it, enough of the time in really watching inside of yourself. Let's say I'm starting my projects. And once I'm clear for myself, this is the one I take. This is the one I take. Then meanwhile, I don't even have doubt that this idea in here will take reality. I don't even have that doubt that it will not take place. Because for me right now it is that I try with my intentions, just figure out right now, who else, what else do I need? What is it that is in my hands right now to make that plan come true? Which obstacles do I maybe have to remove? And which other people or other things do I maybe need to take in that idea? And then it starts. If I have some people on my mind, the writing starts, the contacting starts. If I see already, okay, there are a few obstacles right now we need to get rid of, then the daily work goes into, okay, remove the obstacles. And yes, and why I am saying that at the moment I am trusting this process so much, that I'm trusting that idea so much that it will come real, is because I'm clear of my intentions. And as arrogant as it sounds, but I do think that this intention is very much in line of what I think this world is needing right now. We used to say in our tradition, for example, if something appears in your lifetime that you like, you see something that you like, or you hear something that you like, so something comes there into your lifetime and you like it, then we say, don't pull. Don't pull. If something appears in your lifetime that you don't like, that means that you would normally reject. There we say, don't push. And where does it come from? And in this example, it means if I start to pull it towards me, so I like it, that's why I want to keep it as good as I can, and I want to bring it even closer to me than it really is. Then what is going to happen is one day, when the time comes, whatever you try to pull towards you, it's simply going to move even away from you. At the same time, something comes and you rejected it right from the beginning. It's just a question of time until whatever you push away from you starts to move very close to you. You just need to watch around you from the moment that we are born. From the moment that we are born, your amount of inhalation and exhalation is exactly 50-50. The amount of days and the amount of nights until right now, it's 50-50. Yeah? So that means it looks like this nice wave function, this wave form. And in many different traditions, it's a simple expression that we say, nothing stays the way how it is. Success never stays success, because success is based upon failure. A healthy person never will stay only healthy. He is healthy because sickness exists.
A rich man never stays rich forever. He's only rich right now because poorness also exists. And now the question is like this. If you realize this for yourself and you see that yes, somehow right now it's really good, my business is going good, my health, I'm really fine, everything is great. But then you also realize, yes, but now I'm at this one. Now I feel like now I'm about to lose a lot of things, now it's not working good, I don't know what's wrong. So then you invest again energy and push yourself up. And you realize, I have the skills, I have the knowledge, I know how to do it, that's why it's working. But no matter how hard I try, again it starts to descend. It's like it's not in my hands anymore. And then for us the question is simply like this. After you are observing this type of structure of life, often enough, maybe one day we're gonna ask ourselves, there must be another way of handling and walking through this lifetime without always being caught inside these up and downs of life. Yes, and this is how I would at the moment express what that whole expression and idea is about: harmony, about balance, about stability, about unity. It means that you feel into your life right now, feel inside how you feel about your life right now. And now everything that you are doing, try to make it in such a way that your feelings on the inside do not have huge fluctuations. Yeah? So that means somebody gives you a present, and normally before you would be very, very euphoric. So you had this great happiness rising. Practice a little bit, don't let it rise too quick. So somebody give you a present, you can be still very, very thankful you are. But your emotional state is not rising. Yeah? At the same time, before somebody maybe from your team, he told you, oh, I'm sorry, but this one project I tried, it didn't work out, so no results there. And normally maybe before we would be angry and would be sad about it and would say, oh, what the hell, yeah? But this time it's just like, even with this bad message inside of you, don't let it drop. It doesn't drop. It remains. Yeah? And in a way that means this is just the first beginning to learn and control yourself. That you are not following these fluctuations of lifetime. It doesn't mean you cannot. At every time you can still decide, but now I want to be happy. Now I want to have this expressive feeling. This is not a problem. But only after you have learned that you can also remain in a stable state. Because what is the advantage of this stable state? You know what you can build your life upon. No matter if you are going to be rich in this lifetime, you don't lose yourself. Yeah? If somebody insulting you very, 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 very much, you know you are never going to lose yourself. There is that one person in this lifetime that that person cannot be raised more than he is, and he cannot be lower more than he is, because he has always been stable. No matter how many compliments you give him, he will always remain stable. He won't raise up. No matter how much you insult him, you cannot insult him, because you cannot
get him down because he is always remaining in the stable state. He's unshakable. And this is in a way maybe and 100% compatible when it comes to striving for something. It's just that during the times things are going to change. Nobody in the Shaolin Temple, not from the Shaolin Temple in China and not from the Shaolin Temple here and not in any other martial art aspects, has ever came out a very highly skilled master or grandmaster or teacher or instructor who did not somewhere in his mind had the willpower to strive for a better version of himself. Yeah? Those skills did not come from sitting and dreaming about having them. They came because you could see yourself evolving to a better version, and that's why you took the initiative and pursued that goal. And if this better version of yourself now involves physical skills, or if it involves mental skills, or if that if that additional benefit means financial wealth, at the end it doesn't really matter what it is. Yeah? It's always worthwhile to strive for something that you regard as important for your life. But now comes the point. We are regarding these things as important for our life. But now you ask yourself the question, what is going to happen when a martial art practitioner, you from the Shaolin Temple, now you are still physically active. Now you can still perform a lot of different things. You can still express everything that you have attained through all this hardship and the training. But you're also getting old. So maybe in 5-10 years you can't do all of this anymore. So how are you going to feel about it? If I would have not stopped, or if I would have not paid close attention already to not rely my being only on these physical abilities, it would probably be really hard. It would be really hard to realize that others, they are younger, others, they are having more time for training even. So it's impossible to rely my being on something that I have attained. Something that you have attained, you are going to lose. Attainment is there because you can lose it. But attainment also means it's not you. You are the one who can attain things. That's why don't identify yourself with the attainment. Don't identify yourself as rich. You can be rich, but you are not richness. Because richness will leave you one day. But if I can be rich, I can be rich. But if this richness one day leaves, well, then it left. But I am still me. That's the difference. I can be a successful person, but I am not success. Because if you are success, you're gonna lose it. Yeah? And so this is it's just a small mental switch, I would say, that makes the difference. Yeah? It is absolutely irrelevant, and it's 100% compatible if somebody decides He wants to have and live a very expressive way of life nowadays in the 21st century. That is the freedom that you have right now. That is the purpose why we all are able to live a life, to find a way. How do you want to express yourself in this world? And in the best case, what type of spirit, what type of expression can you contribute to that zeitgeist, to that conscious spirit at the moment? Not all the 8 billion people right now on the world need to have the same spirit. But the more people are there that are causing chaos, the more spirit of structure and stability and order must also exist in the same time frame. We don't have to be everybody the same. But because there are people that are based upon injustice, we need to be people that are righteous. And the question for every single one is simply, what type of contribution are you willing to give to that spirit? Starts with your abilities. Yeah? It starts, be responsible for yourself. Be kind to yourself. Feel yourself the thankfulness about this life, the thankfulness towards your parents. Yeah? You need to feel it first. And when you feel it, then you can make other people around you feel it. Because you know what type of feeling it is that you want to transmit to them. And this is what life is about. It's the transmission of feeling. Yeah? And this feeling is separated from the way how things look on the outside. Somebody can ride the bicycle and he has that feeling. Somebody can lay on the beach and he has that feeling. Somebody can practice the martial arts and he has the feeling. Somebody can just film his video and make his footage and he has this feeling. It's not on the outside how it looks that what is important, what is the value of all of this. It is the feeling which is underlying all of this. And that's the only thing that amongst 8 billion people, what would be able to have in common a feeling, never the way how we live our life.
Only 13% of you have got the notification bell pressed. Hit that button. I have about 5 new projects coming out and I want you guys to see it. The subscribers aren't getting to see it at the moment, so I want to hit that notification bell. Go do it right now. Go on, guys. No, you don't have to really, but if you can, hit the notification bell.
Have this inspiration in the mind, and then they start to manifest because they know that mind is so powerful. I am capable of doing it. So they use the power of the mind to manifest something and either benefit themselves or maybe benefit others. But it is the same powerful mind which for other people then at the same time is creating the fear. But instead of understanding, yeah, but it's the mind, I just need to switch it over and make it useful for me. No. They stay inside the fear becomes more, the powerful fear becomes even stronger, and then it becomes so strong, the fear, that it even blocks people in doing anything. But the fear, it's a construct of the mind in the first place. You fear that you get a car is going to hit you tomorrow. Yeah, hello. We are not tomorrow. We are here right now. Why you think about tomorrow the car could hit you? Who says it's going to happen? And where is the evidence it's going to happen? Where's the evidence it's not going to happen? You don't know. Stop thinking about tomorrow. The music is playing here right now. But this fear of the future, this anxiety of what if, what if and what if not. Both of them are there. But the problem with the fear is, he's very strong. Fear is just nothing to let your life be determined by. But then you ask yourself, but why? Because there is something else which is hindering him at the moment. And oftentimes this can be fear. Fear is number one. Fear of existence for some people. Fear of losing is the other thing. Fear is like the main runner. How do we deal with fear, for example? It's just like this. Fighting is not fun. Fighting against somebody else who also is trained, and then even if you have like gloves on, doesn't matter. It's quite painful sometimes. And also, very honestly, I don't like even to fight. It's not that I like it, but I feel the challenge about it. I feel how much I need to like jump over myself now to go out there. And just, even if it's just training. So that means for a martial artist normally, it becomes like a different perspective when it comes to fear. Because it's all the time when you walk out there. That you're dealing with fear. Fear of what if I lose? What if like he hit me? What if I get hurt? What if I don't stand up anymore? So many fears is it that you are dealing with, but ultimately you conquer them. The outlook on the rest of the life looks different. It changes something inside of you. It changes the perspective, how you are looking at things, where you see other people, they are living in fear, but fear of nothing. Fear of something they have created with the mind. People have this inspiration in the mind, and then they start to manifest because they know that mind is so powerful. I am capable of doing it. So they use the power of the mind to manifest something and either benefit themselves or maybe benefit others. But it is the same powerful mind, which for other people then at the same time is creating the fear. But instead of understanding, but it's the mind, I just need to switch it over and make it useful for me. No, they stay inside the fear becomes more, the powerful fear becomes even stronger, and then it becomes so strong, the fear, that it even blocks people in doing anything. Why you think about tomorrow the car could hit you? Who says it's going to happen? And where is the evidence it's going to happen? Where's the evidence it's not going to happen? You don't know. Stop thinking about tomorrow. The music is playing here right now. The fearful part is one day you look back and say, you have wasted your lifetime. This is the fearful part.
If you want to support us at mulliganbrothers.com, everybody who has been buying the journal ready for 2023, go follow us on social media at Mulligan Brothers. Have a blessed and productive day, and I'll see you in the next one.
No one is born as a superhero. You can only give out pain to another person when you yourself have received that pain before. If I start to do some type of training, no matter what it is, at a certain point I am reaching my level where I either feel the exhaustion, or sometimes I'm also feeling the level of pain that I'm able to take. Now the question is, what are you going to do exactly at this borderline? I can only give the pain to others that I have received already. My bones can only be as hard as I have hit whatever was hard like that. And so that means take it as a challenge. Everything that hurts you, find a way to overcome it. Everything that you feel is difficult for you, find a way to still do it. As long as you can do the things, stop listening to the mind. No pain, no gain. We are not superhuman. We are not perfect. But I know that every time I face something and I feel, okay, I'm not good enough at the moment, at least I know what needs to be done. And so for me, in a way, every time I face something, every time I'm being exposed to a new challenge, every time when I feel it's a challenge, it only tells me there again is a chance now to grow, let's say. Now, of course, some people might say, yeah, but what's the point of this growing? What do you mean by growing? Why would I always need to accept every challenge just for the sake of growing? Because this growing is the opposite of something is decreasing, something is dying, something is closing up. To grow, to open up, is the same as to bring light into the things. It doesn't matter what challenges it is that you are facing there. It is the fundamental principle behind it that you do not run away. that you are open for everything that is being thrown at you. It is this type of mindset to also understand, I didn't ask for an easy life. I take what comes. If it leaves, I let it pass. A mindset that I think is paying off later, big times, is when you're starting to incorporate into your daily life, into the daily perspective and understanding that this world has not been created for you to only enjoy the peaceful aspects about it. Regardless of where you are born, with which, let's say, prerequisites you have been born into this world, everyone is going to face challenges. These are different challenges, but you are going to face them, because living this life is ultimately connected with challenges. The question is, how are you now going to deal with it? What can you do knowing that you're gonna walk this lifetime and you will have challenges? Mental challenges, physical challenges. And there I can only come up with an answer. Prepare yourself. Prepare and condition the mind in such a way that you are first of all not starting to run away. There are two things in that, let's say, warrior mindset, if you call it like this, to be avoided. Number one is to run away. Because running away means that whatever just came into your life, you can't learn from it anymore, because there is again distance between that new situation and yourself. And at the same time, there is no connection, meaning you can't have an influence on it. So therefore, number one, face it. Number one, face it. And number two now, and this is also a quite difficult part, no one is born as a superhero. And nobody is naturally born as being a strong and confident personality. These are things that from time to time, from situation to situation, start to emerge from inside of you, because it's growing inside of you based on how you are behaving towards yourself. And now, after finding yourself in a situation that is challenging to you, it also takes a different type of mindset to also be able to say that I'm not well prepared enough. I'm not good enough at the moment to take that challenge. And afterwards, prepare. So that means, number one, don't run away. And number two, be honest to yourself. Those two things, if you keep them in mind and then just put time, effort into practice, I think is the key to step by step build something up about yourself, about your life, about your character and personality that will give you some strong fundament in order to tackle everything that this world is going to throw at you. The two things to keep in mind is you do not look away when challenges come, and number two is you don't blame yourself if at that moment in time you are not able to face it. The only thing you're gonna do is you step back You take time for yourself, you invest the work, and prepare yourself to return.